On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock.
Move over, Damar Hamlin. Some publishers that have been hit by the HCU have been brought back to life.
This just in, Gen Z fellas are into some very Pinteresting things.
More info on bidding for search terms that are hidden.
All on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Monday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Greg Finn.
I'm Julia Mateer.
I'm Jess Budd.
And it's officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on July 14th, 2025. What's happening, guys?
Oh, you know, just living the summer vibe life.
Nice. Living the dream.
I guess it's a dream. I don't know. How about you?
In the middle of living a nightmare, I'd say. Not really nightmare, but I think I need a life coach. And I've scouted one out. And I think I'm going to do it. And I always thought that was so lame, I guess. But I feel like I need that. And then I feel like I need a business coach too. I feel like the way I do business is wrong.
I mean, it's been going great. Yeah. You run a very successful agency. You employ lots of people.
I know, but I probably should be more professional or something. I don't know.
That's silly.
But I need to all my sports are almost over, except I might pick up a new one with my kids. But broke up with my girlfriend of 2 years and just really, really sad. So I'm I think I just need to reset everything. And I think that's what a life coach is for. Do you guys know what a life coach is for?
No. I mean, I see a therapist, which is really helpful.
That could be good.
Yeah.
Maybe you need that. Just somebody to talk to. They don't have to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this life coach was a previous therapist. And it was good.
Oh, well, that's, yeah.
I feel like I could do this. This is a good, it's a match.
Yeah.
How does that work? Do you mean with them? And they're
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you guys.
Yeah.
Get into it.
I don't know. I think it's going to be better. I'm I could use that. I got a lot going on. I got a lot of commitments. It's really
just add one more.
Tough.
Yeah. I know. When I think life coach, I think somebody that's out there do your best. What's that Shallow Hal movie, The Guy in the Elevator? But if you're seeing somebody that's legit, has a therapy background, they might actually be able to help you. But a life coach just has such a weird connotation, but it's not lame to seek help.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think I need to prioritize. I just have so many things going on, and it's like you're saying, business is booming, and it's I didn't listen to PBC Kirk and the Stop the Scale book up here, and there's so much going on, and it's all just a lot.
Just need someone to talk to.
Yeah, I think so. So I think I'm gonna get a life coach, and then I'll just keep everybody abreast of what's happening.
Yeah, I feel like that's a healthy choice to make. I think your motivations are right. You're not down on yourself. You just feel like you need support.
Oh, I'm down on myself.
Stop it. What? I mean,
way down on myself.
Yeah, I know.
But that's just
we're very sorry about that.
Normal day that ends in a day for me. But you know what? If I were a life coach and I got somebody, a client that was a marketer, I think steps number 1, number 2, and number 3 that I would advise them on is to use AdsVisor, our sponsor for today's show.
AdsVisor.
Because AdsVisor is the connector tool that is just built for marketers. It's built for you. Goo does business like I do business. I feel like it's hey, let's just go do everything we possibly can for our clients. And that's what Goo does too. Gives you the ability, AdsVisor does, to tie into destinations like GPT, Google Sheets, Looker Studio, Claude. And the thing I love about it is he is not making you break the bank like other connector tools out there. You get all these destinations in a plan for as low as $34.99 a month. And I can't tell you this year how many reports we've seen from accounts we've taken over where the data is manually pulled in, or it's a half-baked, you can only get one ad platform. And I was some of them are just hard-coded. And it's this isn't dynamic. You're doing this every week, every month, whatever. you can do better.
It's
And
time suck that way.
Yes. So I would just say, if you're a life coach for some reason listening to this show, you should add AdsVisor into your repertoire and start offering that. And if you're like, hey, $35 I don't know if I want to commit to it. 14-day trial for just 99 cents. You can't beat that. So head on over to adsvisor.com to check it out. That's ADZVISER.com. ADZVISER.com. That's ADZVISER.com. My number one recommendation for your life. Is that good or is it bad?
Beautifully transitioned.
Yeah. First up in the main news this week, Ginny Marvin replied on LinkedIn to Collin Slattery's article on hidden search terms from last week. So just as a refresher, Collin had this great article about how he analyzed 20 million in spend, 14 million in clicks across 933 campaigns. And his findings were that for every $1 in ads in Google, Google is siphoning 85 cents in inefficiency through hidden search term, along with CPCs being 52% higher and click-through rates being 44% lower with those hidden search terms. So he posted this on LinkedIn, and Ginny replied and said, "Thanks for sharing. This was something I asked about when joining Google." What she learned is that the threshold increase was solely privacy-driven, so a search term is reported when it meets sufficient search volume across all Google searches. This threshold applies to all queries. She also said that there's a trade-off between volume and marginal ROI, and that their goal is to hit bidding targets, and that the queries are matched when predicted to help achieve your desired ROI, regardless if they meet the reporting thresholds. So Collin then replied and asked why terms that are hidden for privacy reasons deviate so much from what can be seen broadly. And Ginny replied and said that the threshold applies to every query the same way. Any search term that's not surfaced in the report simply has not been searched enough times across all Google searches to meet the privacy threshold. It either meets the threshold and gets reported, or it doesn't and gets aggregated. Smart bidding doesn't consider whether a query will be reported or not when opting whether and what to bid. It looks at the query's predictability to help achieve your desired ROI. She also noted how it's frustrating to not have full visibility and that they're still working on solutions that are privacy safe.
It should be privacy safe, privacy driven, same thing. But
privacy safe ways is the way she worded it.
Privacy safe ways. Yeah. There's a very valid argument to be made on behalf of advertisers to say, I understand that you have to do things in a privacy safe driven way or whatever it is. And also, I kind of don't want to buy those clicks.
Right.
If they're privacy unsafe.
Right.
Even if they're hidden, I probably kind of don't want those ones if you're deeming them to be privacy unsafe driven.
Right.
Right? Like, wouldn't I be like,
yeah,
that's fine. I just want the safe stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the weird way that they message this. I still think, I love Ginny. I understand there's a privacy component. I also understand it is a hard sell to let people see the broad matching because people are too stupid to understand what it is. It's like, it looks at your past history. It looks at the landing page. When you get AI Max, it's going to match to all different things, but it's intent based in what the user has been doing on Google and trying to say, like, let's say we have a ladder right over there. I looked up a ladder, in a previous query. And then afterwards I looked up toggle bolts, like how we hung these curtains. I could see people saying, why would I look at toggle bolts? But if they saw it was a quick search for a ladder and then they did toggle bolts, they're still in the progress phase here. Mm-hmm. But I understand it's hard for people to get that. And it's like a different mindset shift. But I still would like to be out of them. If you can't show me that or whatever, and out of them. And then why is the ROAS so low? That's
what's crazy.
That's like,
that's why. It's like not privacy.
It's a little tricky.
Collin did all that, and the ROAS for the visible terms are 5.6 or 560%. And for hidden terms, it's 259%. So either the privacy unsafe stuff just sucks from a ROAS perspective, or there's more to the story. Did I understand?
Or both.
I can't say anything about. Or both.
Yeah.
Or all of it.
Yeah.
And we are going to have Collin on. We're going to try to have Collin on at the end of the show to talk a little bit more in depth of the findings and the back and forth with Ginny. We're going to start trying to get some interviews in. It might be a slow rollout, but whenever there's like big news, we just want to kind of get somebody that is talking about it and go a little bit deeper. So we'll put that at the end of the show. So if you don't want to listen to an interview, it's going to be the same show as always. But if you do, at the end, there'll be that interview. And there was, I would say, pretty shocking news in a good way for publishers that at least were hit by the helpful content update back in September 2023. And if you recall, that was deemed helpful content update, but Google had a bunch of creators come out and had a meeting, a summit of sorts, where they had said it wasn't anything to do with their content. And I was not at this meeting, but allegedly, according to at least the Giant Freaking Robot website, I believe, one Googler had mentioned, like, how would Nike feel if we ranked you over them or something like that was roughly the quote. Again, allegedly. I cannot confirm any of this. But with the June 2025 core update, some of these sites that were hit by the helpful content update about 21 months ago are recovering, which is awesome. Because honestly, with AI, we talked about this before with one of Sam Tomlinson's takes, it needs original content. It needs publishers. It needs people to create things like this or to create blog posts or news articles in order to source that information, find what it likes the best and put it together. And those 20 to 21 months where people literally were eating at homeless shelters, like that reported on that, like these people went through a lot. I know a lot of companies fired their entire staff and like shut down. I mean, it's probably 20 months too late for this, but that's just one good sign. So I wanted to at least have a little bit of hope here, you know? And then
spreading the positivity today,
Yeah.
Greg.
I'm a glistening ray of sunshine.
Glistening.
At least I'm glistening. Is it too shiny? Am I too shiny?
No,
Can you be honest with me?
you're not
You're
too
my
shiny.
life coaches.
Currently
that's
not
a bad
too shiny.
idea.
Not too shiny.
Yeah, no.
I
Is
think
it-
that's a good idea.
Has it helped the skin?
For us?
Yeah.
To be a life coach?
Yes.
Yeah, his.
I'm hiring you both.
Oh, God.
You're on. Is it too shiny?
No.
Does the skin look better or worse?
Better.
Are you lying?
No.
You've only been at it for a week or two.
Yeah, but
It's
it
been
feels
like
like
3
a
weeks,
lifetime.
right? Yeah. It looks sufficiently hydrated,
Mhm.
which I would say is better.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling you old, but the older you get, you need that in your skin so that you don't wrinkle up and shrivel. So
Yeah.
it's a good choice that you're making.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna lean into beef.
You're going to lean
Fun
into
fact.
beef.
Beef tallow. I now have beef tallow deodorant as well.
Oh.
Are your armpits shiny?
I haven't really looked.
You should check.
I don't know if you want to pit check here, but I would just say like you kind of come out smelling like maybe like a 3-star Michelin like steakhouse or something. It's
Ooh.
pretty nice.
Are you serious about that? That's what your deodorant smells like?
Deodorant's a little meaty.
I feel like that kind of goes against the whole point of deodorant, but
Yeah, like is
okay.
what is the beef tallow supposed to do for your armpits?
I don't know.
Does it is it an antiperspirant or is it a
Need more in my
deodorant?
life. I don't know. I don't do antiperspirants. I don't do aluminum.
Okay. So
So I think aluminum's terrible.
it's just deodorizing you by giving you the scent of a kitchen.
Technically the steak in the kitchen, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to be looking for a new girlfriend with that.
Not in the near future, man. I need you
I'll have
guys-
to
I
check
need
with
you
his
guys
life
in my
coach.
Beef lovers rejoice. Greg is single.
Shit. I'll just go hang out outside a Brazilian steak. Okay, guys. Other news within the June 2025 core update from Glenn Gabe, the man, myth, the legend. Check him out if you want any update or core update news or volatility news or algo anything. There was an e-commerce volatility flare to this, according to Glenn. He said, I haven't covered e-commerce volatility, so I'll do that this morning. First, some surges. This can be a shot in the arm for their summer sales. Like I said the other day, there have been some huge swings. Check out the surges below. And on the flip side, I've also provided some drops for e-commerce sites based on the June core update so far. Like the big surges, there have also been big drops. And we could have another core update or two in the fall, either before or during the holiday season, so stay tuned. But check it out. Some good signs and some bad signs, and something you want to be keenly aware of if you're in e-commerce.
And now for this week's
Cool tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners and is really, really cool.
This week's Cool Tool will help you spy on AI generated content found on websites. That is right. Ahrefs AI content detector is live in the top pages report. There's a new column there, aptly named the AI content level. You could see the rough percentage of non-human brains in use. So in the example that was shared, we've got things like 95% AI content level, which they're indicating is very high. I would agree. And there's lots of use cases for this, including pure curiosity. But for me, I would take a look around for any trends in the types of content that are being generated with AI and try and make my own take on that with a much better stab from the help of my human-based content team. Just see if you can beat the AI out there. That's how I would use this, but probably a bunch of ways.
We don't have an Ahrefs account at the moment, but I would want somebody to go back and look at like my blog posts.
Oh,
If there's any percentage in there, we're going to have a talk, Ahrefs.
yeah. That's a good point, actually. But you are so human in your blog posts because you just kind of like spit them out and let them go. But I wonder if you do sound like AI. There's other tools to check for that too.
Like AI.
You look like AI. So
I do
shiny.
look like AI. I'm turning myself into Brian Johnson. Not the bad Joe Rogan stocky one, but the live forever Brian Johnson. A lot of weird Brian Johnsons out there. Tables and I were talking about it at the baseball
Too
game.
common of a name for there not to be a few.
Yeah. Brian and Johnson.
Johnson. Yes, sir. Get on the horn to British intelligence.
Anyway, if you are an Ahrefs user, you should check it out. Pick your own poison as for how to use it.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
Take of the week comes from the one and only Boris Besarek. Barry Schwartz was talking about the article from Collin Slattery, and he said, is there a reason we can't say, don't show my ads if the search terms will be hidden at Ads Liaison? Outside looking in, this would be a very reasonable request. To which Boris Besarek said, yes, comma, $, $. Yep. Meme god Boris Besarek. Him and Mike Ryan, I think, always in the top memes of the year.
Yeah.
So
That's not even a meme, but sure reads like
good.
one.
no,
Yeah.
that's a take.
Yeah.
Now it's time for this week's
Pew, pew.
lightning round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
And before we get into the lightning round, just another word about our fabulous sponsor, AdsVisor,
Advisor.
because they have just rolled out not 1, but 2 powerful updates to the Google Sheets add-on. First, we have the specific cell insertion, so you can now choose the exact cell where you want your reporting data to appear. This is a huge deal. It used to just get dumped somewhere and you'd have to move it around manually. If you're trying to update an existing dashboard or report that you have, you can now just choose exactly where that data goes and you don't have to reposition anything yourself. Agency folks can rejoice now too because we have added multiple account reporting. You can select multiple accounts from the same channel at once and pull data in one go. If you're looking for roll-up performance reporting, this is the update for you. And let's just not forget that AdsVisor goes beyond Google Sheets too. It supports other destinations like GPT, Looker Studio, and Claude, all even on the base level plan. And if you're not convinced, you can try it out for 14 days for just 99 cents. There is no reason not to test this. Take Greg's advice, take your life coach's advice, go to adsvisor.com. That is ADZVISER.com, ADZVISER.com. Thank you, AdsVisor.
First up in the paid universe this week from Mike Ryan Retail on X, Google is adding transparency and control to demand gen. You can easily report channels and customize which ones you'll target. Looks like the data's a little messy right now, but it'll get fixed over time. Cool update. Next up from Nate Lewis or N8 Lewis on X, he tweeted, here's a head scratcher. How is Google.com ranking in Google Ads for dumpster rental? And then shared the images of the auction insights in his account where I assume he's in the dumpster rental business and Google is ranking in the report. Google's a dumpster fire. I need to rent new ones.
Yeah, I think Google Business Profile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
Especially like PMax and it's not showing the site. So
Fair
I think
point.
somebody else said that. Higman said that too.
Mm-hmm.
But then I liked it too. Somebody's like, what's your CPA on dumpster calls? And then it's like, seems like a great guy. He's like, yeah, calls orders typically $18 to $39. I like it when people.
Yeah, he's just putting it out
Nobody
there.
ever shares anything. So
Yeah.
hates.
He should also say how much it is to rent the dumpster. If he was a real marketer, he could have snuck that in. Gotten a free conversion.
I'll rent one and throw my life right into it.
Next, from Anthony Higman on LinkedIn, he saw that the Google Partners Rewards store now has flight vouchers.
Hooray!
Book a flight. Go somewhere fun.
Yeah. We're going to get you a vacation.
You need the vacation.
You need the vacation.
No. Next, some meta news from Braum. They added a new breakdown option called Creative that allows you to break down results from your ads by flexible format and image generation. So they didn't have this before, and now you can see it. Nice update. Also, Meta is rolling out a business AI agent for e-com businesses. You can teach the AI agent about your products and services, and then it will give customers personalized recommendations and respond to them 24/7. I can see how this is good, but I think the responses could be scary depending on, what's being asked.
I'm a little wary of it, yeah.
Yeah, but maybe it'll be helpful. Then from Jill Saskin Gales on LinkedIn, she got an email that had the option to one-click apply Google Ads recommendations without even opening the email. So she just hovered over it and could click.
Are you kidding me?
How
And
are they able
auto-apply.
to do that?
Yeah.
They're not going to
Also,
let me use that feature.
The amount of times I accidentally open an email, if I'm just scrolling and I click, that could happen so easily. So just be so careful.
That is just the craziest.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I know. And if this,
It looks like it's all recommendations.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Just,
You just do it from your inbox. You don't even need to open
Yeah.
Google Ads.
I know.
And
There are good recommendations,
yeah.
but there are also lots of things that don't make sense for your business.
Then last for paid from Search Engine Roundtable, Google is testing a swipeable carousel format for the People Also Consider ads. Sachin Patel was the first to spot this and posted it on X. The People Also Consider format was first seen in February for sponsored result. They then tested it in list format on mobile, and now it's a carousel. So we'll see what they do with it next.
All right. And into the organic news of the week. OpenAI may release a web browser to challenge Google Chrome. And this comes from Reuters. Apparently, they're close to having this AI-powered browser that will, again, go up against Chrome. And it's going to launch in coming weeks, according to Reuters. So how would this be different, you may be thinking? I don't think you're going to like this answer. OpenAI's browser, according to Reuters, allegedly, is designed to keep some user interactions within a ChatGPT-like native chat interface instead of clicking through to websites, two of the sources said.
Well,
It doesn't sound like a browser.
what does it have a name?
It sounds like an answerer.
Yeah.
I meant the browser. Does it have a name?
No, OpenAI declined to comment.
Ah.
It just seems like it was leaked, but I don't know. I like
Messy
competition, but I feel like every competition is just, it's like the challenge and how you win is you just screw over every publisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
man.
ChatGPT might take the lead. Who knows? All right. Google is also testing zooming in on images within the search results. So if you see products being shown and you hover over them, it kind of zooms in and has a little funky effect.
It's not very
Sick.
zoomed in. I can
Yeah.
see no additional
If it
detail.
just makes it
it's like
I know.
wee.
half a pixel bigger.
I just feel like people like that stuff when there's little subtle movements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be better than it just pops up like a big light box of the product and something like that.
Yeah, but I still want to see more if I want to see more.
Yeah. And then just because we reported on Google and visual capabilities or upgrades to the SERPs, Bing also has a new expanded image search box that lets you explore images in a deeper way. And I swear to God, this is just like another
Doing
Zoom
the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like doing the same Zoom thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But this at least opens more detail underneath, so you can like see what you're zooming in on. I like this better.
And this technically isn't in the traditional SERPs like the other one is. This is like an image search result, but bunch of zoom in going on.
Are these rugs?
Yeah, I know. I was like trying to see what was looked up
Is
to
it a
get this
shirt? Like, what am I doing with these patterns?
It's actually a Rorschach test, and we just got your answer, Jess. All right. And Microsoft Bing is testing a delivery truck icon within search ads. I do not think this was for just traditional results, but there's like a little thing that looks like a blue truck sign.
Yeah.
It's so ugly.
I know.
It looks old.
And it looks like when you hover over it, it says free shipping, $69 plus dollars, not like for old people. So,
Good, because they won't be able to tell that's a truck without adding a zoom feature to the icon.
yeah, I don't think the execution of this is fantastic, but I would use this.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Yeah, I think that
The truck could be a little better.
Oh, this was on for ads only, so I just stole your thunder, Julia.
Oh, rude.
As your life coach, would you like to take this and do it, or did I do a suitable job?
As your life coach, you did a great job.
Okay, well, that's it in organic. What's happening in social then?
All right, first up in social this week, it is Christmas in July for some Meta creators who received a notification in the platform that they are valued and they are getting Meta verified free for a year. I know. Sounds like adoption is going really well organically, eh? Meta is also rolling out more updates to its video editing app Edits. This time, though, the focus is on the planning and development of creative. There's new features in the Ideas tab, like the ability to save audio. You can leave sticky notes, which you can then mark as done to stay organized, and then you can filter and sort in new ways as well. So that's nice. Next up, several sources, including Reuters, reported that TikTok is developing a US-only version of the app in line with the requirements of the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act, because it would operate on a separate algorithm and data system from the main app. It's being referred to as M2, which is boring. Hopefully it stands for something, and the launch is planned for September. In other news, TikTok released the following statement. The recently posted Reuters story, which is based on anonymous uninformed sources, is factually inaccurate.
Good.
That's the whole statement, though. So, that doesn't mean it's not happening.
Yeah. Maybe
it's not happening. There's just falsities in there. I don't know. We will see in September if it ever comes. I don't know that we're going to get there.
It won't.
So, we can move on now. You want to talk about men?
I'd really not like to, but sure.
Okay. We're going to talk about men. Greg, you're a man. So,
Correct.
what sort of content are you consuming on Pinterest?
I don't use Pinterest at all.
Okay. So, that makes sense because the platform released its first ever report on male engagement trends, and it specifically focuses on Gen Z, which you are not. But apparently Gen Z men are growing in record numbers on the platform. So they put together a report that talks about some of the things that they're into. And there's really interesting things in here like holistic health and fearless fitness, which I feel like is you.
75 deadlifts yesterday.
That's fearless.
Mm-hmm. Gotta get back in shape. So too many deadlifts, like coaches.
No, that's a good amount.
It hurts to sit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, if you want to sit in better clothes, effortless fashion trends include jorts outfit or goth guy outfits.
How do people have time for all this?
They get life
use
coaches.
TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest and and Snapchat and keep your snap streaks. How do you guys just this is to Julia.
Mm-hmm.
Jess,
Okay.
you are not the life coach on this question.
Okay.
How do you do people just sit on their phone all day long?
A lot of people do, yes.
Okay. It seems so daunting.
Yeah. I don't
Keep up
really,
with
but
everything.
that's why I have notifications off. I'm telling you,
That is
It's-
life changing.
it really is the best decision I've ever made. Because I feel like when you get them all the time, there's my first advice as your life coach, turn your notifications off.
It might be bad for business.
Yeah, it probably would be, but
You can choose
Keep,
which
like,
notifications you need to keep.
like for your personal accounts.
Yeah, I'll turn those off.
Yeah.
you don't
I
need
like
it.
that.
Check
Also,
when you
like
check.
text messages from anyone but like relevant people, like your kids or something or whoever else.
Good luck getting into any platform ever again.
Oh, that's true. You can leave that one on. And Google ads in your kids. Leave those on.
Anyway, yeah, so that's out there. If you're targeting men on Pinterest, check it out. And I didn't know that this happened, but apparently X recently rolled out some updates to the Grok chatbot to make it less politically correct. And I don't think I need to explain why this was a bad idea, but it was. And they're undoing some of the changes after some less than ideal things were said about a certain German leader from the 40s. And there's been an effort to stop Grok from using hate speech. Elon Musk said Grok was too compliant to user prompts, too eager to please and be manipulated, essentially. And that's being addressed. So that's really gross. I don't like it.
Honestly, I would have less than ideal things to say about a certain leader from the 40s.
Okay, no, Grok said very positive things that are less than ideal from an X perspective.
Oh, you said ideal. And
No. They basically were like saying phrases that were uttered back in the day. Like we don't. Yeah.
No, I've gone on record. The H-man, bad guy. Very bad.
Bad guy. Grok didn't think so for a while because it was trying to please users, which is that's the part that grosses me out. Like you can fix a chatbot and they're trying.
And also, like, can you just say like that word? Like, don't say that word.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk about this.
We don't
like,
need
if
it.
I was making AI, I'd be like, hey, guess what? Like, there's a ton of stuff to read out there. Just, you're not going to answer to this.
Mm-hmm.
And just give a response. Bad guy. Everybody be like, oh, this is a great response from Grok.
Yeah. That's very easy. They're working on it. I don't know if they went as hard as you did, but hopefully it'll help. Then literal days later, I understand it's not the same thing, but X launched Grok 4 and called it the world's most powerful AI model. So I guess it's doing a really good job with math and physics, but they've made big claims before with previous Groks and fallen short. So whatever, I'm making moves. And last up, if you use third-party platforms to manage your social and analyze performance of it, you will be happy to know that LinkedIn has launched some new member post analytics APIs to provide data around follower insights, post performance numbers, and video analytics. If you had a company page or have a company page, this was already available to you, but they're expanding this access now to individual user accounts. They can get the insights with the APIs as well. So I'm all about that.
And that brings us to our real life segment, straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
So for me this week, it's a working hard and a hardly working, depending on whether or not you use the thing. It is summer. It is vacation season. Lots of people are out of office. And I thought it was pretty standard to set an out of office, but I've had so many experiences where I feel like I'm being ghosted for like a week and then people will come back and say, sorry, I'm out of office. I have low self-esteem. Y'all need to set an out of office so I know that you're not ignoring me. And if you need inspiration, our very own Christine Zernheld, aka Shep, has a really funny one this week. She is obviously not here. She's in Maine having a good time, but you can make it fun. Just let people know so we don't think you're ignoring us.
Right.
Please.
Mine is also, I don't know if it's working hard or hardly working, maybe a little of both, but keyword planner in Google. I was using it this week because I was trying to look up terms for a certain sensitive-ish topic, and they won't give me the search volume on any of it, which I understand, but it also makes my life harder. So, a little bit of both.
Privacy driven.
Yeah.
Safe.
Privacy driven safely.
All right. And for me, I just got to say, this is like, I would never say this if it was outside of the show, but a lot of people ask me like, hey, I get DMs and people messaging and like, do you actually work in the accounts? Like, do you actually know how these things work? Which is like, you guys know this.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing this like audit and working on this kickoff. And I still got the fastball. I'm throwing 105. Like,
is that good? I don't know what that means. Okay.
That's great. Wait, 106, I think is the record. I'm throwing 106. I was going through that. I'm like, man, I just, with so much like time, you can just see everything and think through like businessy things and are going to do such a good job. And I'm so excited. And I was like, hey, you know what? Like, I still got it. I'm proud of myself. This is going to be great. We're going to crush it. Like, I am so excited. And then I just said,
What do you mean you said,
You can only be proud of myself for like a little bit. And then
you should be
proud
As
of
your life
yourself.
coaches, great work.
So wait, people really think that we don't do the work here?
No, people
But
think that I don't do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you probably just
Yeah.
go out and shake hands and kiss babies or whatever.
No, that's my job. Greg is digging in the accounts. I kiss the babies.
But I don't know. I was just like really pumped and I'm super excited. And our team's done great. Maggie did a great job too. Julia's going to take some stuff and do a great job. And it's going to be so awesome. Yeah. And we have like the world's best team and I love it.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
ICYMI people from Mark Williams Cook on LinkedIn. Starting this week, July 15th, YouTube is only paying for real voices and original content. That's what he said in his LinkedIn post. The Google support doc says, updates to YouTube Partner Program. In order to monetize as part of the YouTube Partner Program, YouTube has always required creators to upload original and authentic content. On the 15th, YouTube's updating the guidelines to better identify mass-produced and repetitious content. This update better reflects what inauthentic content looks like today.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
All right, this week's must-read marketing article of the week comes from Matt Bowen over on Search Engine Land, and he's got a great article talking about why phrase match is losing ground to broad match in Google Ads. And he has got so many stats and so much data to back this up. Talked about the fact that between June 2023 and June 2025, broad match CPCs rose 29%, while phrase match surged 43%, and that some people are still stuck there overpaying, where broad match may be a little bit less. Also some great click cost stuff as well, and then click volume in there. But I went on to say that like phrase match has declined in quality and has the receipts to back it up, showing clicks, cost, revenue, ROAS, broken down by not only broad match, phrase match, exact match, but also by the close variant matching of each. Nothing of AI Max in here, but I'm assuming he might have to take a look at this again next year. It would be great if he did. I would highly, highly recommend this from Matt Bowen over on Search Engine Land. Thank you, Matt. And now we've got a little treat for you. An interview with Collin Slattery of Tycoon Digital. We're going to talk about those hidden search terms, get his insight, and hear a little bit about why he thinks Google has this stance and if it's true or not. And let us know in the comments what you think of this. We're just trying to do a little bit of a new format and go a little bit deeper into certain hot topic stories of the week live with the people that are making them. And then we'll be back with our songs and we'll bid you adieu. All right, and I'm here with Collin Slattery from Tycoon Digital, who we've been talking about quite a bit over the past 2 weeks because of the epic blog post. The high cost of hidden search terms, how Google skims profit from advertisers. And Collin, first up, I just wanted to ask, it's as much work as it seemed to go through those $20 million in spend, or $19,626,000?
Yeah, it was hundreds of hours of total time between grabbing the data, which has to be pulled manually, right? Google does not let you just pull it through an API, organizing it, categorizing it, analyzing it. It was hundreds of hours of work across both myself and a number of team members.
Awesome. Well, thank you to you and your team members for doing that. I think it was eye-opening. Do you want to give just a quick TLDR, and then we can go over some of the actual metrics and then sort of the response that you've seen from Google in your thoughts on that response. So what this is the TLDR? You're on an elevator, you have to tell somebody of the article.
Yeah, I mean, of every dollar you spend, you should be getting about $5.50 in revenue back, and you're only getting 4.75 back because Google is taking 85 cents for themselves because of forced inefficiency.
And that forced inefficiency comes by way of hidden search terms, essentially.
Correct.
And it's because those hidden search terms do not match the return on ad spend that you typically see in any visible search terms, correct?
Exactly, right. And I mean, you know this, right? It was up until 2020, we had essentially full visibility of all the search terms. I think maybe sub 1 or 2% were hidden, and now it's roughly 30%, and that does vary quite drastically based on vertical and client. And those hidden search terms, which, you know, we pay for but can't see, much less efficient in aggregate than what we can see.
Yeah, we actually put out a change.org petition to get all the search terms back when it came out. And I think we had 5,000 to 10,000 people sign it. It wasn't as or it might even been the bigger one. We had one that got like 50,000. Nothing ever happens from it. But I think a fun fact is I think when Ginny was the search engine line, I think she signed it. So if anybody wants to go back through the petition and see, you can check that out. Yeah, and I think the most shocking thing is when you broke out visible versus hidden search term return on ad spend. The visible is 5.6x back for every dollar you spend. The hidden terms are 2.59 back for every dollar spent.
Yes. Less than half as efficient.
Yeah. And at the same time, the CPCs are higher.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like materially higher too. Like almost 50%.
Yeah. One thing I loved, and I thought it really stuck out to me, was just some of the branded breakdown, right? Where branded seemed to have a huge discrepancy from visible and hidden. Whereas I think it was shopping non-brand where hidden actually did a little bit better. Was that the only one that did better?
Yeah, that was the only one that did better. And I think the fact that non-brand was so close in aggregate was incredibly surprising to me. That was one of the things that I mentioned as kind of an unexpected finding, which does raise some questions. Like, is there, and I think the whole thing raises questions because it's hidden. We don't know what's in there, right? So we don't know what is lurking. We don't know what's influencing the performance. And so there could be a lot of like brand misspellings in there, right? We just don't know. And I think that is, at least from my standpoint, the biggest issue with it is we have no visibility into 30% of what we're paying for on Google Ads.
Yeah, and that's a funny fact. We just are onboarding a new client in a shopping campaign that they had. They had both branded and non-branded. So I was trying to just figure out like what the baseline was year to date for ROAS for non-branded, and there were and then so I had non-branded, branded, and then hidden, and I'm just like, you can't even use it. Can't even use it. So I'm not even gonna look at it. I'm just like, this is the brand in there. We know it's visible. Doesn't have the brand in there. It's visible. And that everything else hidden is just so worthless. And that's such a big number too for that specific client. It just makes it very difficult.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? Like again, in our data set, it was 30-ish% overall, but some were close to 80% that were hidden. And we're mostly e-com, so I imagine that for predominantly lead gen, it's going to skew even more hidden as well.
Yeah, and I think one of your takeaways, I'd say you're pretty aggressive in this, but rightfully so, because you did the work, you have the data, you have the stats, you have all the metrics. And you had said your takeaways on the data is this is clearly another step in Google's march to become a flat tax on businesses. Almost every update that comes out removes more and more control and forces inefficiencies one way or another that are always detrimental to advertisers but beneficial to Google. And I know you sort of like asked Ginny or challenged Ginny, and I know Barry Schwartz was out there as well. What is their take? We already covered it a little bit earlier in the show, but what is their like official stance on these hidden terms and why they're hidden?
Just trust us, it's privacy, right? And that's the claim. And that's been the claim from the beginning, but there's been no support of it. There's been no answering of any questions. And I have had some back and forth with Ginny, and again, love Ginny, like have known her for a very long time. She obviously, has limitations in what she can and cannot say because Google is going to limit that. But you look at the responses that she's able to give, and they are, if I'm being honest, like pretty pathetic. And clearly you can tell they've been through the legal department. It feels like a politician with like a written statement of wrongdoing where they don't admit to anything, right?
Yeah, and I know it's like we're trying to strike the right balance with advertiser visibility and user privacy, and that everything is privacy centric. Do you believe that?
I don't. Right? And I don't think that Google has the trust of the advertising community where they can just say, hey, it's for privacy reasons, and we just trust them, right? I think, especially for those of us who have been doing it for such a long time. I know you've been doing it for a very long time. I've been doing it for 15 years, right? We've watched Google's journey from don't be evil as a literal like business ideal to where they are today and what you've seen come out in the antitrust trials with them. And so I don't think they really have the benefit of the doubt anymore. And all they can say is, hey, no, really, trust us. Like, we're doing this for this reason. And I just think they don't have my trust to say that. And I don't think they have most of the advertising community's trust to say that.
Yeah, and here's my disclaimer. I love Ginny. She's the best. She's made everything so much better. We talked about the fact she can't really say much already earlier in the show. I, from the day this happened, did not ever think it was privacy related. I think there can be a percentage of it. But when you're looking at just massive portions of your keywords being hidden terms, and then you see repeatedly the incredible discrepancy of ROAS between visible and hidden, like that alone, because honestly, if it was really, let's say you're an ad platform, you're Google, and you're saying what can happen with broad match, with phrase match, everything, whatever, we can infringe on people's privacy because what they typed in. And it's not a good look. And it's not something that we want to do because we really value this. Would you make an option to turn it off if that's the message you're sending to your advertisers? And say, hey, if you don't want these non-privacy compliant terms, you can get out of them.
Yeah, or be a little more transparent about like what goes into it, right? How many queries, and I asked a bunch of these questions, right? Like how many queries does it take to meet the threshold for being visible? Are there different thresholds for things that have more sensitivity, right? Like healthcare terms. Understand if there are major privacy implications with healthcare terms and that those would, be hidden, right? Like, I think that's very logical. But we get none of that transparency, none of that communication. And yeah, I mean, I know a lot of advertisers would probably like to turn them off and having that option, but they don't give us much in terms of answers or options, do they?
No, but I mean, if it was this super sensitive privacy issue, that would be something I might say, hey, you can opt out of this if it's people's personalized information. That's never happened. It's never going to happen. And that's just like another reason why, if it was all privacy and that was actually the case and I was the platform, I might be like, hey, you don't have to go after these ones, but it could work. And obviously what we're seeing with your data is it can work in very specific circumstances, but for the majority of it, it's like works less than half, right? In generating return.
And so and I think there's additional data around the privacy justification that doesn't really pass the smell test in terms of just like n-gram analysis. And this is only on visible terms, right? But we see essentially no delta between, 5 grams and 7+ grams. So search queries that are 5 words long or more than 7 words long. And you would expect that search queries with very low volumes are going to be longer, right? Fewer people are going to type in 10 words than type in 5. And we don't really see any delta in those lengths. So that also doesn't really, pass the smell test on that data that we have either.
Right. And then you're in the search term reporting, I'd assume, quite a bit. And you see so many terms, even if they're not, a big subset of multiple, words in there, but things that just have no clicks and 1 impression. And it's like, what is this threshold? Like, I feel like sometimes we just like feel like you're losing your mind.
Yeah. And over a long time windows too, right? It's not like 1 impression, 0 clicks over the last 7 days. Like sometimes you look at 180 days, 365 days. It's got 1 impression, but it's still showing. And, the argument is that it's, universal volume. But I mean, what's the overall universal threshold, right? Like, give us something.
Because none of it makes sense. Okay, so what would you tell people to do? Is there anything people can do after just kind of seeing this data that you've so meticulously curated?
So I think the number one thing, right, is know that Google is an adversary and not an ally, right? And I think just that is structurally necessary because of the way that they operate as a business, right? There's a finite amount of search inventory and they need to maximize the return that they get on that search inventory. So that, don't fault them for that. They are a, private entity. They're there to make money. So definitely don't trust them. And I think Ngram analysis is a very powerful tool if people don't use it, because it does aggregate performance data that you can then find more stuff to potentially exclude. But beyond that, there's not a lot that you can really do. And, you talk, well, maybe you do match types, but match types don't really mean anything either. I mean, we'll have exact match keywords that'll match to 800 different search queries. So how exact is that really?
And then AI Max is probably going to make it all easier, right?
Yeah,
It's a
just
joke.
put your target and we'll take care of the rest, right? And that's really what they want.
Okay, if you've not read it, it's called The High Cost of Hidden Search Terms, How Google Skims Profit from Advertisers. You can find it over on Tycoon Digital. That is TAIKUN digital.com, TAIKUN digital.com. It'll be in all the show notes if you're here and in the descriptions. And Collin, where can people find you? What do you got cooking? New podcasts? What's happening if people want more of this good stuff?
You can find me on CJ Slattery on Twitter, Collin Slattery on LinkedIn. It is pinned on my Twitter profile as well, so make it easy to find. And yeah, I got hot takes there all the time, and have a very heavily hot taked podcast as well called Marketing Uncensored, which is less safe for work than most, I think.
Yeah, ours is edited out. So if you want the explicit version, check that out for sure. And thank you so much for taking the time to hop on here today, go in a little bit deeper, and for the fantastic work on this project. So we'll have to have you back again soon. It was this was fantastic.
Greg, appreciate the time. It's a lot of fun, and always appreciate your support on all my deep research that pokes the bear.
Absolutely. Are you here in Greece right now? The country.
I am. Yes,
because we have a city, Greece, right near us. Okay, well, have some spanakopita for me.
I'll have a lot. Don't worry.
Okay, thanks so much, Collin. See you soon.
Thanks, Greg.
And now onto our playlist of curated songs to work to, which you can find over at playlist.marketingclock.com. What's going on the playlist this week, Jess?
I'm going with the live acoustic version of Disposable Heroes by Metallica.
Wow.
I'm going with Phoebe Bridges' Waiting Room.
And I'm going with Night Changes, One Direction. All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
Can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered.